If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want.
Hey everyone, Matt from Total MTG here, and it's Thursday, which means another deck tech. And today's brew, oh, it's a janky brew. So if you didn't see Monday's deck tech, there'll be links above and links below for you to go and watch the mono green Stompy deck that is absolutely powerful and getting some amazing support. So thank you very much for that, all of you that watch it and those that are going to be watching it after this one. So, Captain Omnispell, Jeskai Captain Omnispell, what is this deck all about? Now let's have a look at these three cards here. Truefore Captain, Omnispell Adept, and Star of Extinction. This is a crazy combo in Standard. The 4-mana card, the 5-mana card, and the 7-mana card. This isn't Modern or Legacy, this is what we've got in Standard. So Truefore Captain, whenever it's dealt damage, deals that much damage to target player. We want to hit them with Star of Extinction and do 20 damage to it, and then hit our opponent with that 20 damage. We want to do this cheaper, so Omnispell Adept is there, so the Extinction can only cost 3 mana. How epic is that? 3 mana to cast a 7-mana spell and potentially kill your opponent. So we're going to want to go through and find our combo. We got Search for Azcanta as a 2-of in there. Helps us go through our deck, put stuff in the graveyard that we don't need at that particular time. And then we can flip it into the Azcanta, the Sunken Ruin. And it lets us look through the top 4 cards and potentially get those non-creature cards that we need when we're searching for that star. We've also got Chemist's Insight there to draw 2 cards, has Jumpstart, absolutely epic this card. Drawing 2 cards, potentially if you've got lots of open mana, you can do it again and draw 4 cards at the end of 1 turn. We've also got a 1 of Invent. I don't really use the Invert too much on this, so I haven't used it at all to be honest, but the Invent I have used a lot of times. Search your library for an instant card and or sorcery card. So this has been really good. I remember once I went to Sideboard, I had negates in the Sideboard. I went and got a negate and a Star of Extinction, so I had actually protection for casting the Star of Extinction with the Adept. It was absolutely brilliant and it won me the game. Removal. We're going to have a lot of removal in this deck because it's a heavy creature meta at the moment. So we've got Lightning Strikes in there to do 3 damage to targets, any target, planeswalkers, players, creatures, whatever we want. Lava Coil comes in as a 2-of. Still Leave Champion is a card and it's very hard to beat when it's down turn 2. This does 4 damage and manages to exile that, so we've got them in there as a 2-of. We've also got 3 Deafening Clarion that can sweep up early creatures when they've got, there's a lots of 1, 2, 3 powers on there. Deafening Clarion will sweep them all up and give you maybe the time that you need to get this combo together. It also does creatures control gain lifelink until end of turn. We've only got 7 creatures in the 3 of Truefire Captain and the 4 Adepts in the main board. And there's only a couple in the sideboard that you'll see when I go to that. But we don't, we're not really going to use that other ability. But if we do, all well and good, we might be able to gain a bit of life. This card, Risk Factor, probably my #1 card from Guilds of Ravnica now. I absolutely love this card. It does 4 damage to target opponent, or they have to give you 3 cards. And it's got Jumpstart, so we can cast it again from the graveyard. Potentially 8 damage or 6 cards or any combo of the 2 from Risk Factors. This card will win your game. We've got those, like I say, Risk Factor doesn't always do the 4 damage, but with Lightning Strikes there is a little bit of a burn package here. True Captain, talking about that if they've got 2 massive creatures there, say they've got like 2, they've got a Gouter and a Gigantosaurus. If they, if we're attacking in, sometimes they just can't block, because it'll do 10 damage to the captain, and then we can redirect that 10 damage to your opponent. Then all you might need is a little Lightning Strike to win the game. Truefire Captain is not just in there for the Star of Extinction. It can attack into big creatures and do hell of a lot of damage. Settle the Wreckage is in there as a 1-of in the main, but there's more in the sideboard. I took out an extra Invent for this just to have 1 in the main because there's so many creatures in there. Potentially you could have 2 in these in there, but at the moment I can only make room for 1. We then have a 1-of River's Rebuke in there, which is pretty sweet to cast with your Omnispell Adept for 3 mana instead of the 6. Bouncing all those non-land permanents the target player controls their own hand. It's a pretty cool move and will certainly buy you a lot more time later in the game. So 6 spells here. We've got a 3 of Nexus of Fate. We want to be taking extra turns because we do need to find the combo occasionally. And even just casting this, even if you can't do anything, getting that extra draw spell, casting more stuff, Nexus of Fate, maybe, potentially casting it for 3 mana with an Adept is very, very sweet because you can take the extra turn and potentially do other stuff as well. Also, what's great to cast for 3 mana is Apex of Power. We get to exile the top 7 cards of your library, and to end a turn, you may cast non-land cards exiled this way, and because this will be cast from a hand, we get to add 10 mana of any one colour, which is amazing. So even if, they manage to kill your Adept and you get this, triggered off, 10 mana is certainly enough to cast a Star of Extinction, because that's only 7, or maybe a Nexus of Fate, or maybe, anything else we got on the deck, your River's Rebuke. This is a very nice card. You get 7 cards there. Perhaps you get your lightning strikes, your risk factors, you draw cards, you do more damage. Absolutely, the potential of this deck and the potential of using Adept and what you can do with it is absolutely endless. The last 2 cards in the main is a new Planeswalker from Guilds. It's Rao, Is It Viceroy, an extra type of win con in there. The +1 is look at the top 2 cards, put one in your hand and the other in your graveyard, so more way of siphoning through our decks. The -3 is deal damage to target creature equals number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard, so we're going to have a few there, maybe potentially to kill a creature. The emblem for us, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, the emblem deals 4 damage to any target and you draw 2 cards. That is a win con right there, that -8 emblem. I haven't got it yet, but I'm pretty sure when I do, I will be winning the games. So let's have a look at the land base now, the Jeskai land base. We've got Clifftop Retreat in there to tap for the red and the white, and also we've got 4 of Sacred Foundry. Sulphur Falls is in there as a 4 of, and Steam Vents is in there a 4 of. We don't want to be stuck casting, we've got double red, double blue, double white. It's janky, I told you, but we don't want to be stuck, not being able to cast the spells if we haven't got our Adept there. We've also got a mixture of islands, mountains and plains as well. 24 lands in total. So let's have a little review of the deck before we go to the sideboard. So let's take a little look at the deck, guys. I know it seems a bit janky, but it is a bit janky. It's a combo in Standard that has, the manner of these cards is absolutely hilarious for a combo. It's not like Legacy or Modern, is it? But Truefore Captain doesn't always need the Extinction to hit it to win a game. It can, sometimes get through an attack because, like I said, your opponent's creatures are too big and they actually can't block it. Whereas a Lightning Strike at the end of turn then will potentially win you a game as well. Adept will help you cast massive spells, Nexus of Fate, Apex of Power, and then you can just cast more cards with the Apex of Power. It's just got so many different interactions, this deck, that's absolutely hilarious. 20 damage to all creatures and hitting yours and redirect him. How fun is that? We've got Rao, Is It Viceroy that can get, protect it potentially with all the removal we have, get to that emblem and win that way. 4 damage a turn, drawing cards. We've got ways to through the deck with Search for Canters, Chemicals, Insights. It seems to have it all, and it does put it together as well. We've got lots of removal, lots of card draw, and a super cool way to win the game. So let's get to the sideboard now, and as you can imagine, we've got removal, we've got counter spells, and we've got a couple of other win cons as well. So we've got Invoke the Divine there, which can obviously destroy target artifact enchantment, and then gain us a little bit of life as well, which sometimes can be very important. There's an Ixalan's Binding in there, just a one-off, enter battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and then they can't cast any more spells of that name. I love Ixalan's Binding, it's in there as a one-off. More Settle the Wreckage, we need, potentially I would like another one in the main, but I just can't fit it in there at the moment. Don't want to drop the Invent because that's just such a cool card. The only card that may come out is possibly the River's Rebuke after a lot more testing I've already done. But at the moment, 2 in the sideboard, we can bring them in and swap it over if we need to. Cleansing Nova is in there as a one-of as well, which destroys all creatures, or you can choose artifacts or enchantments, but usually it's all the creatures. And there is that extra invent that was in the main that's now in the sideboard. We've got 4 of Negate in the sideboard as well, because once people see what we're doing, they're going to want to be killing and destroying everything we do. So normally game 2, you will be bringing in your 4 Negates. Last 5 cards in the sideboard. We have a 3 of Sarkhan Fireblood, because I do like this as a different kind of win con for the deck once they know what we're doing. Sarkhan Fireblood can help you draw cards, discards, which is really cool as well. The +1 to add mana to cast dragon spells, which we do have a couple that you'll see in a second. But getting the -7, creating those 4/5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying is absolutely epic. We got a lot of removal in the deck, so we can get this down early turn 3, then just start protecting it to get to that -7. That's potentially another way to win the game as well. The last 2 cards in the sideboard are a 2 of Demanding Dragon. We might get to cast it with Sarkhan that way, but you know, we're not really doing that. Demanding Dragon, a 5/5 flyer, 4/5. Wow, I said that right again. Enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target opponent unless that player sacrifices a creature. It's just a big beater. It's a big dragon. Potentially can do 5 damage or make him sack a really cool creature. And Demanding Dragon is there as a 2 of. So that's Thursday's deck tech, guys. I hope you enjoy. It's Captain, Jeskai Captain Omnispell. It's a combo. It's a fun, janky sort of brew, but it's got some very powerful cards in. And when you win the game doing a Star of Extinction, casting it with Adept and smacking your captain with it, and then redirecting it to your opponent, it will just be what Magic is made for. It's a fun game. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really does help. I've got a 5,000 giveaway coming very soon, so that video will be coming over the next few weeks. We went over the 5,000. Thank you very much. Let's push on to 6,000 now and get up to 10,000 if we can. So I really do appreciate you taking time to watch the video. As always, if you can smash the like as well, that helps the channel. Like I always say as well, like I've been saying recently, if you see people in the comments and you like what they say, hit the likes there as well, because it really does support the channel and helps push the channel further. And I love it when everyone gets in the comments and has a good old chat about the decks. Anyway, guys, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.